Episode 20 of 1001 Stories of Relationship. It was just photos. Brian walked home slowly, his mind clouded and his head spinning. Each step felt heavier than the last. He couldn't shake off the memory of the argument that morning between him and his wife, Rita. Their voices had risen sharply during the quarrel, which centered around their recent wedding. Rita had complained bitterly about how Brian's family treated her. She felt disrespected, overlooked, and unwelcome. According to her, even her own family had noticed. But Brian had brushed it off. What exactly is your problem with my family? He had snapped, his tone sharp and defensive. Didn't you know them before marrying me? All of a sudden, they are now the issue. Whatever problems your family is having, please let me be. Tell your family to sort out their problems and leave my family out of it. Rita didn't hold back. Her frustration, which had clearly been building, poured out. Hurt, anger, and disappointment all tangled together. That was when Brian lost his patience completely. Without another word, he dressed quickly, grabbed his files, and stormed out, leaving Rita behind still shouting. The rest of the day felt unusually quiet. No calls, no messages. This was far from how things used to be before their marriage, when they spoke constantly, sharing thoughts, laughter, and even the smallest details of their day. At work, Brian couldn't concentrate. He sat at his desk, staring at his files, but nothing registered. He tried to focus, flipping through pages and typing aimlessly, but his thoughts kept drifting back to the morning. I've never seen her behave like this, he thought. Marriage really changes people. Rita, raising her voice at me. He eased under his breath, irritation creeping back in. If I had known she was like this, I wouldn't have married her, he muttered. Wouldn't have married your wife? A voice asked. Brian looked up, startled. It was Mr. Adams, his colleague, standing nearby with a calm but curious expression. They had a close working relationship, and Mr. Adams, being older and married for over 10 years, carried a quiet wisdom about him. Brian, I hope everything is okay at home, he said gently. It's nothing, sir, just a small issue, Brian replied, trying to brush it aside. Mr. Adams shook his head. You can share it with me. I might have some advice. You are newly married. It's normal to face some challenges adjusting. Brian hesitated, then opened up. He explained how Rita had been complaining about his family being unfair to her and her own family. I don't understand it, Brian said. She keeps bringing it up, but never says exactly what the problem is. This morning, it got worse. Mr. Adams listened attentively. What exactly did she say the issue is? He asked. Brian shook his head. Honestly, I don't know. Mr. Adams nodded. That's the problem. She has probably said it, but you weren't really listening. Or maybe you didn't give her the space to express herself fully. Brian frowned. But she just complains. Nothing specific. Mr. Adams leaned back slightly. When my wife and I got married, we had a similar issue, he began. She would complain about things I did wrong, and instead of listening, I would ignore her or just say sorry casually. He paused. That created distance. She stopped complaining, not because things were okay, but because she gave up. Then we became silent. We stopped talking, not just about the issue, but about everything. Even when we tried, it felt heavy, like there was an elephant in the room. Brian listened more intently. The problem didn't go away. We just avoided it, Mr. Adams continued. He sighed softly. One day, we attended a marriage seminar, and from the discussions, we realized our mistake. We weren't giving each other a safe space to speak. Afterwards, we made a deliberate decision to talk, really talk, no avoiding, no pretending. He looked directly at Brian. Avoiding difficult conversations is not a solution. Have them. When my wife finally felt heard, that was our turning point. So when you get home today, swallow your pride. Speak to your wife. Listen. He paused briefly. And don't be surprised, it might be something small. Those words stayed with Brian. When he got home, he met Rita on a phone call. Her tone was calm, completely different from the morning. He sat quietly, giving her space and reflecting on everything Mr. Adams had said. After she ended the call, she looked at him, slightly surprised by his calmness. Brian took a deep breath. I'm sorry for how I reacted this morning, he said sincerely. Rita's expression softened. I'm sorry too, for shouting, she replied. There was a brief silence, but this time it felt lighter. Can you tell me what the real issue is? Brian asked gently. Rita hesitated, then opened up. My family feels your family didn't allow us to take enough photos at the wedding with them, she said. They feel left out because they have only a few photos to share. Brian paused, then blinked. Is that all? He asked. Rita nodded. At that moment, Mr. Adams' words echoed in his mind. It might be something small. And truly it was. I'll talk to my family, Brian said calmly. I'll get more photos and share them with you so you can give them to your family. I hope that will resolve the issue. Relief washed over Rita's face. Sure, that will make them happy, she said, smiling. The next day, Brian spoke to his family. At first, they resisted. They said it wasn't necessary since the wedding had passed and complained about not having time to search for photos. They should have taken enough photos too if they wanted it badly, some of them said. But Brian remained calm. He explained that Rita's family felt left out and unhappy about not having enough wedding photos. He didn't argue, he appealed. Eventually, his persistence paid off. His family agreed and shared more photos with him, and Rita sent them to her family. That evening, Rita greeted Brian with excitement. My family is so happy now, she said. They finally got most of the photos they wanted. Brian smiled, relieved. That's good to know. Please, next time be specific about any issue. I can't understand if you don't open up. He paused. And I also promise to be more patient and to truly listen, and vice versa. Rita nodded in agreement. From that day, Brian learned something important. Patience and listening matter deeply in marriage. Rita learned too that expressing herself clearly matters and that she should not assume her spouse automatically understands her needs. From then on, they chose to communicate openly, listen patiently, and never let small issues grow into big problems. And with that, Brian and Rita's marriage began to grow stronger. Keep enjoying the episodes of 1001 Stories of Relationship at 1001storiesofrelationship.wordpress.com.